It is indeed Super Nintendo.
X-Kaliber 2097. Ooh, so we've got some King Arthur today?
Not even close. This has absolutely nothing to do with King Arthur whatsoever.
Okay, well, that's kind of a misleading title then, but, you know, I guess
well, the sword is called the X-Kaliber, spelt exactly that way.
That's offensive.
And the music in the Western version is by Sonic, who are... They had a few hits, but they also did part of the soundtrack for the famous and much beloved movie Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation? I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, that's for the best.
I love it. No, oh my gosh. I don't know, Mortal Kombat movies kind of have a soft spot in many people's hearts.
The first Mortal Kombat movie has a soft spot in my heart. The others I prefer... They just don't exist.
Oh, I know this game. I played this game.
Yeah, I asked you to play this game briefly.
And that's right, you're saying that you're being nice here. That's a lie.
This game could be worse. Could be.
I mean, it could be. But if I recall correctly, this is a game that Game Grumps played, and they didn't beat the first boss, right?
Something like that. I only discovered this after trying to find a video to show you the first boss, but
hey. I love it.
This game does kind of seem playable when you first try it out. It's almost kind of like a low-rent, quite rubbish Ninja Gaiden to some extent, and it's got some really odd controls, like you actually have a block button and things like that. And then, oh, this game gets rude later. It gets really rude.
Yeah, it does. By the way, Toon Pirate, thank you for those bits. Just raining down every once in a while. I know that, oh my gosh, the first boss is pretty hilarious, in my own opinion, but, you know, you'll see that later. What difficulty are they playing, by the way?
They're playing on difficulty 5, very hard.
And isn't there a difficulty 7?
There is a difficulty 7, but that is where it gets into absolutely sadistic territory, and I'm not doing that.
Okay,
I should,
wow.
But I'm not.
We have pity. I like it.
A degree of mercy, we'll say.
A small bit, teeny tiny bit of mercy here. Yeah.
But yeah, I can at least guarantee you've got a decent soundtrack in this. It's almost like I know people were saying that the soundtrack for Hunchback 96 was kind of almost like a rip-off of Streets of Rage, and I get Streets of Rage vibes from the music in this.
Sweet. Arpiga, thank you for that sub. I'm just about ready with capturing and such. Luckily, the players have made it relatively easy. Let me go ahead and just do a small bit of fine-tuning. And we are almost there. I'm glad that everybody, though, has been able to come and chill and just relax, honestly. Kusogr4nde is one of my favorite things that I do. It's just been great.
I'm just glad that you run Kusogr4nde because it means that I can showcase some really terrible and obscure games to people. But in this case, this isn't particularly either, but I have plans. I was slightly disappointed this wasn't vetoed because I had something else and something much, much worse.
Well, that's okay. Bad games can definitely come later on, you know, not a huge deal. There's plenty of time for all the crap that's planned.
Oh, yes.
What is this music that I'm listening to, by the way? Because it's the best. Oh, you know what? Project X for Amiga. There you go. Amiga has some strangely good music. You should definitely check out some of them. Okay, there we go. Let me go ahead and check to see how Zelness's audio sounds. There we go. Okay, we've got music. Jumi Wander, thank you for subscribing. We are just about ready to jump into this match for today. Let me turn this up a little bit.
Oh, this game has some music.
We can't buy her either. Well, that's probably good. There we go. We've got the hot jams now. Oh, that's right, and they all have to play the cutscene each time. Or
for the first time.
For the first time that they get there.
Difficulty very hard. Difficulty very hard is actually 2 steps below maximum difficulty.
Yeah, that's right. I played on difficulty 4 or 3, something like that, which was still reasonably difficult. And
you played it on 3, I think. And yeah, this is definitely a game where the stages are pretty easy, with some rudeness, and then the bosses are horrific. And then things get much, much worse later in every room.
Do they all need to go to the options screen, by the way?
They may as well. It'll prove that they are on the correct difficulty.
And they're allowed to have 5 continues.
They're allowed to have 5 continues. I am generous. I was going to make them. I was going to make them play it on hardest difficulty, and then I thought, nah.
That's fair enough. Okay, I'm doing the countdown. Wish them the best of luck. Send your excitement, send all that mojo that you have, because we've got beautiful X-Kaliber 2097 coming up next. As soon as I see movement, I will start our timer. Let me turn down the game audio just a little bit. Here we go, Neo New York. But Neo means new, right?
Yes, this is New York.
New York. Szechuan Steve just did a reset.
Yeah, Szechuan Steve started by hitting continue rather than new game. So that would have been instantly one continue used.
Wait, it uses a continue if you... Wow.
If you press continue instead of new game, yes. And because they started the game to mess around for 15 seconds to check out the controls and make sure it worked.
Yeah, that's a little special. Oh yeah, this sprite was definitely in Barkley's Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. I didn't realize that. Gaiden. Blah, that one.
So, just to talk about some of the differences in difficulty for a moment, these enemies are taking 3 or 4 hits. On the absolute hardest difficulty, the basic foot soldiers take, I think, 7 or 8 slashes to kill.
Yeah.
I also love that you've got 3 attacks in this game, and also a block button. All of which is extremely useful, except that two of your attacks have such really drastically, horrifically long cooldown times, and yet you will need to use them regardless.
Well, you use them, but then you just have to sit there for like 2 seconds. It's not even the cooldown, your own movement is a cooldown.
Yeah, I love the ranged attack, where he just stands there with his coach billowing behind him for a full 3 seconds after you...
Now,
so it looks like Cards of the Heart just made it to the first mini-boss and then promptly exploded.
Yeah, that's about right. This first mini-boss is a little bit challenging just because you're still getting used to all the controls, and you need to get used to being able to block any of the projectiles here.
Yep, pretty much. This is where the game teaches you, hey, you need to actually...
Yeah, when I was fighting this boss, I didn't use any of the strong attacks. I only used the weak ones. Weak attack and then block. That's my strategy.
Yeah, that was basically my strategy as well. And then if he corners you near a wall, then just leap over him.
Well, Zelnus has beaten the mini-boss.
He's a nice, easy mini-boss.
Yeah, he's not that bad. Luckily, there's plenty of health around that you can collect inside the weird boxes that appear. Zelnus and Cards of the Heart onto Section 2 at the same time.
The health pickups in this game are weird. There are 3 different types of them, but one of them is such a tiny fraction of your health.
Is that the Coke?
It's ridiculous. The Coke cans give you almost no health back whatsoever.
Well, I mean, that's how Coke normally is, you know. It might get you a little bit excited, but that's it. No one insults my rose, boy! My thorns are gonna cut you real bad.
I love the cutscenes.
This boss's name is literally Tattoo, by the way.
So, when you get to bosses, the game turns into a fighting game.
Yeah, enjoy. Same controls, though.
Yeah, exact same controls, but now you are playing a one-on-one fighting game. Also, the time limit does not work in your favour. If you manage to time out, then you lose.
Oh, nice. Just so you know, everybody, this is the boss that Game Grumps could not get past. I beat this boss. It didn't take too long, but...
I finished this game because that is what I do before I hand games out. But, yeah. The bosses only get worse from here. I'm sure they're going to get past Tattoo, but I'm pretty sure they are also going to take a fair few attempts to get past it.
I love all the swipes. Chop, chop.
He stands there and attacks 10 to 15 times in a row.
Sometimes, yep.
And he has a longer range than you.
My thorns are gonna cut you real bad.
Another man with a bad tattoo.
I mean, it's true. Also, he's got a really bad skin issue. Very green.
Yeah, you would think that his green skin would be more prominent than the tattoo on his chest. I mean, I've seen some bad tattoos, and that doesn't actually look like a bad tattoo.
Cards of the Heart has dealt a good amount of damage at this point. Essentially, the best way to deal with this boss, from what we've seen, is get up in his grill, hit him, and run away.
Yeah,
but
my strategy for this was basically to run up to him at point-blank range, hit him, and then just hold down the block button.
I like Card's strategy because he just waits for Tattoo to come up and then do one hit, and he gets his strong stab out.
That's another way of doing it.
I think it's dealing more damage than the way that I did, so I'm cool with that. Oh, Cards! No! Cards, watch out! Okay,
Problem
there we go.
is, when you do the strong stab, because you've got the waiting period, you need to hope that he doesn't immediately attack, or if he's in the corner.
Yeah, if he's in the corner, you have to worry about it. If he's not in the corner, not a huge deal. Oh my gosh, Cards! He's almost dead, Cards! Yeah, okay, Cards. Just one more hit. Tattoo.
Oh, Cards.
There we
Cards can do
go.
it.
Cards got it.
I'm
Wow.
impressed. That was a really fast destruction of the first.
I did not expect anybody to do it this quickly. I expected
neither did I.
probably 10 or 15 minutes. Don't cut yourself, Tattoo. Wow.
This game has amazing dialogue. It's like terrible 90s comic book dialogue.
So Cards is going to probably have to learn how to do a down stab in this level. I found that it was pretty necessary when I was playing it.
It is necessary for a section a little bit later on, which is one of the first bits where the stages get rude.
The bad thing about the down stab, though, is that it also has a cooldown, so as soon as you do it, you're usually stuck for about a second on the ground. Unless you...
A little help that Coke can just gave back to Cards.
It wasn't very much. There is a way, by the way, to cancel the animation for the down stab so that it's not useless. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not intentional. If you do it just right, you can just keep chaining down stabs, and it's great. It looks like Cards is on to the next screen. Cards is definitely in the lead at this point. We've got two people fighting Tattoo and struggling.
Which is understandable. Tattoo is rough. Cards is also going for the correct strategy for these Rising Girders bits, which is just to completely ignore all of the enemies and just leap straight up all the...
Oh, yeah. Oh, Fizz! Fizz has killed the mini-boss, which is great.
Cards has taken a death. May have been a good idea to stop and pick up some of the pickups along. Fizz and Zelnus are two streams I'm having some difficulty watching because of lag and my terrible internet connection.
Faizu,
But Fizz
get better
has
internet.
managed to get... I would love to. Fizz managed to pick up some health, but then got murdered by the wall cannon.
Yeah, not too surprising.
You can block those shots, but depending on the position of them, some of them you have to be crouching to block them at the same time, because this really wants to be a bad fighting game. This does have a two-player mode, which is a fighting game, where you can play as any of the bosses and fight against your friend.
Wait, really? Ooh, that sounds cool.
It would be if the fighting game part of this was any good. But it's at least, it's a fairly original idea as opposed to, you know, just take it in turns to go through the stages in two.
Yeah, I'd say that this game has some good things and some bad things.
It's kind of, in the way of all good Kuso, it has some really good ideas that it fails horribly to capitalize on.
Yeah, I feel like this has pretty bad execution in some aspects. Especially the fighting. It makes me so angry that you're stuck without moving after most of your attacks.
Oh, Szechuan Steve has nearly taken down Tattoo.
Szechuan Steve unfortunately did die, but hey, I think he's got a strat.
The game is at least polite with continues in that it doesn't return you to the start of the world. It just returns you to basically the stage you were at, like the exact point. Well, not the exact point. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you're at the boss, it returns you to the boss. If you're at the second or third screen on the level, it returns you to there.
I'm trying to take a look. It looks like there were two companies that worked on this, and one of them, Wins Co. Limited, they were working on games up until 2015. Worked on Final Fantasy Dimensions, Digimon World, Dawn and Dusk, some of the ports for Final Fantasy II, a Ranma. Oh no, did they make the Ranma fighting game? No, they made one for TurboGrafx.
I don't know if that's better or worse, honestly.
It looks better. Somehow.
Okay, I'm curious to see how Cards is going to get through this bit, because this bit took me a moment because I found it slightly counterintuitive. So you have to just jump straight at the glass wall.
That worked.
To jump onto the elevator. Yeah, if you try and slash, then you just fall straight into the ground.
Halt, you worthless sack of flesh! Man, that's what my mom said occasionally.
Because I'm going to shred you.
Oh no. She also said that, you know, it was a complex relationship.
She didn't say anything about teaching you manners.
No.
Yeah, jumping into the glass elevator makes sense, especially because you've kind of got the fire creeping up behind you. It's just the fact that for 1 or 2 attempts, I thought that you had to, like, slash open the glass wall to jump through it. But no, it is just jump. If you press an attack button, you will just fall to your death.
Ah.
This boss kind of sucks. He starts off with a gun, and he's really easy there. You can block everything, and that's fine. And then he kind of turns into Blanca, only with spinning chainsaw attacks, and he likes to jump more, and yeah.
By the way, it appears that the music was actually made by Psychosonic. Yeah, I was just looking into that, and chat's talking about it.
Yes, I said that before.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention, I guess.
No, it doesn't surprise.
I'm sorry. As far as I can see, one of their earliest songs was Silicon Jesus. They made Welcome to My Mind, Unlearn. I have no idea. I've never heard of this band. Oh, but they did do some music for Mortal Kombat as well.
That was what I was talking about earlier, yes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Chat has also been discussing the slightly sordid history of one of the people in said band, unfortunately, which I wasn't aware of.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody. I know I heard Mortal Kombat somewhere in there.
Oh, there you go.
Can I blame my anemia on that, Faizu?
Sure, why not?
Sure. Dangle anemia making me dumb.
Odds of the Heart is doing really, really well against this boss again.
Good. Psychosonic, Sonic Psycho.
Maybe I should have ramped this up to difficulty 7 for them.
Wow, that would have been mean, Faizu. But maybe. Zelnus is having to use another continue on the first boss. I'm not too surprised, but this opens up the chance for the Fizz to possibly pass Zelnus.
Yeah, again, there's plenty of time to catch up.
Oh yeah.
We're barely anywhere in the start at this point, but Cards has taken an early and very, very strong lead.
Yeah, this game has a lot of walls.
Yes.
Oh wow! Apparently Psychosonic did the music, Faizu. That's what we're learning right now. And they did music for Mortal Kombat. You know, I really like that. I really like that about Psychosonic.
Oh, Cards didn't quite manage to beat the boss. Got it down super low though.
This looks like a T-1000, though.
More a T-800, I think.
A discounted one. Okay, yeah, it's closer to T-800, whatever. At least I knew that it was the letter T.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, considering your knowledge of historic movies that everyone should have seen. Have you seen a Rambo movie yet?
I haven't.
Okay.
But I have seen Mortal Kombat, which, by the way, featured the musical artist Psychosonic. Or no, it was just the video games that had... Yeah, let me correct the record here. Did the video game music.
Oh, bro. Why?
I don't know. I need to... Look, I've played Rambo, so I already lived the experience. Yeah, and here's the deal, Faizu. A T-1000 can look like a T-800.
This is true.
So, who are you to judge me?
He does more T8. Actually, maybe you're right with the T-1000 thing, because the T-800 did not have a chainsaw for an arm.
Yeah, I mean, that would be hard to do if you were a T-800. A T-800 can't make a chainsaw.
Well, I mean, it can probably make a chainsaw, but it can't just randomly turn its arm into one.
I think actually, a T-1000...
The T-1000 couldn't either, because it's moving, so this has to be a modified T-800.
Its whole body is moving. Why can't it do a chainsaw?
There are 2 Terminator movies. Be quiet, everyone. There aren't any other Terminator movies.
Like,
incidentally, bro, one thing is that if you're watching Carl's screen, and also Szechuan Steve is up to the same point as well, you'll notice that in the background there are kind of flashing lights that say Psychosonic, and Psychosonic is the band that actually did music for this game.
Oh, wow!
A techno band. They had some hits in America, but they're possibly best known for doing soundtrack to the Mortal Kombat Annihilation movie.
Oh, wow! They did Mortal Kombat music. That's pretty awesome, Psychosonic. You know, I'm just amazed at the repertoire there of this game and Mortal Kombat.
Yes, the Japanese version of this game does indeed have different music. Psychosonic were tapped to do the Western version for some reason. I don't know why. Sorry, chat.
So, as everybody can see right now, the bosses are the walls. Because everybody's on a boss. It's just that 2 are on Tattoo, and 2 are on... I think they're actually fighting Psychosonic. This is the weapon they use. Machine gun / chainsaw. Which, you know, you see a little bit of those in Mortal Kombat as well.
Now, speaking of Mortal Kombat, Bro Sensha.
Oh, yeah?
No, I'm not going to do this again.
Okay.
There was actually something else I was going to say, and I totally can't remember what it was. I was going to say that, yes, the bosses are generally the walls in this. There are a few levels I expect people to outright die on a couple of times, because some of the later stages are very, very mean as well.
Yeah,
and yeah, the recovery time on your ranged attack is, I think, about 3 seconds. Which is insane.
Oh, you know what? I'm just looking at Wikipedia, and Psychosonic apparently was featured on the Mortal Kombat Annihilation soundtrack.
God damn it, Professor.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, this game is rough. The bosses are rough enough on difficulty 3. On difficulty 5, they are nasty. On difficulty 7, they are... On difficulty 7, even the stages are insanely difficult.
Yeah. Like, just the number of enemies, or are there other obstacles that you run across when you're doing a harder difficulty?
What was that? Sorry, I was busy typing in chat.
Sorry, I was just thinking. Is it... I'm losing my mind.
We know that.
No, the enemies in the game... Is it just more enemies in higher difficulties, or are there more obstacles?
The main difference, honestly, is that enemies do more damage and take way more hits.
Okay.
And by way more hits, I mean that the basic foot soldiers on the first stage who take, like, 2 or 3 quick slashes to take down on your basic standard difficulty level 3. On difficulty level 7, they take about 8 hits. So everything takes far more hits.
I do want to note, by the way, for everybody who's talking about it, the Fizz has moved into 3rd place, having finished off Tattoo. Yep. Zelnus is still struggling with it. Hasn't quite learned a solid strat that ensures that he gets hits.
Yeah, the difficulty with all of the bosses is figuring out how to hit them and not get hit, because they invariably do much more damage to you than you do.
Oh, yeah. Like spinning chainsaw, dude. Okay, oh, no! Oh, yes. Cards of the Heart has finished. Tilt program over. His name is Chainsaw? What a...
I don't know why it says tilt. Another morph. Where does Raptor get that kind of know-how?
He's tilted.
Yes. Raptor, in case you missed the amazing intro to this game, Raptor is the crime lord who runs Neo New York. And he has a very good sword, but he wants the protagonist's sword, because the protagonist's sword is the X-Kaliber, and it's really good for some reason. I don't know what's so special about it, but there you go. And he has kidnapped your friend Alex, and you have to go and rescue Alex. And yeah, that's about it. He's running the city with the help of morphs, but we don't know what morphs really are. It's never fully explained upon, except that I guess they're kind of mutants and monsters, robots, something.
I mean,
the plot of this game doesn't make a great deal of sense, and I'm fine with that.
I don't know what it is. You've got an X-Kaliber. That's about it.
Pretty much.
And you fight a guy named Tattoo.
I mean, you're probably seeing here that Cards of the Heart, this is where the stages do start to get more difficult. Cards is still on the first screen of this next stage, and is already down to like a third of their health.
Yeah. Oh, it's a spinning guy.
And now another mini-boss. Fortunately, this mini-boss is pretty easy.
As long as you don't get exploded. Okay.
Yeah. No, sadly, Blood Moses do not make an appearance in this game.
You know what? So I'm learning T-1000 cannot turn into moving machines unless it acquires external hardware. So it's possible that this is a T-1000 that just happens to have a chainsaw as well.
It's possible.
I presume if he already had a chainsaw available, he could just transform his arm into a chainsaw holder.
You mean like Ash from The Evil Dead? Is this what
I thought you were going to say from Pokemon. I'm like, exactly like Ash from Pokemon.
No, Bro Sencha. That's a very, very different Pokemon series. Yes, Ash from Pokemon with the chainsaw attached to his arm.
It was a dark time in Pallet Town.
It's what happens many, many years after the events of the anime.
The Fizz, by the way, did the Fizz have to start over?
I haven't been watching the Fizz's stream that much because it has been buffering an awful lot for me.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
I don't think so, because they're right before the second boss now.
Okay. Oh, you're right. It's got this dumb jump. Okay. Time for the Fizz to fight Chainsaw. Halt, you worthless sack of flesh. Still a great line, okay?
It's super good.
Zelnus, I really want you to beat Tattoo. Tattoo's a jerk. That's the thing with a lot of these bosses, and a lot of video games, you just have to think of different ways to approach them. Looks like Zelnus might actually be starting all the way from the beginning, which isn't that far, to be fair. But
yeah,
still a little rough.
Once you know what you're doing on the stages, they don't take too long to get through. The bosses do take a while, even when you know what you're doing, just because they have gargantuan health pools, and a lot of the time you have to wait for them to do stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay, cards killing a machine gun. Good.
Is Zelna starting over?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's not going to take too long to get through stage 1 and back to the boss. That's fine.
I was going to say, this game was far, far funnier when I thought the continues didn't work, but that was just me being stupid.
Wait, what were you doing then?
It's because the continues put you back to the main menu.
Of course they
it's
would.
not a case of, it doesn't go, you know, game over, continue, or exit. It just says game over and puts you back to the main menu, and at that point I was like, oh, the continues aren't working. Okay, I've had enough of this game for the moment, so I quit out of it. And so then when I went back to it later on, that didn't have the continue point, so I started
foolish
from scratch.
mistake.
Yeah, and then I looked this up online, and there were a few other people saying, hey, the continues don't seem to be working, so I thought that this was one of those weird artifacts, where they worked in the original Japanese version, called Sword Maniac, which is a much better name.
It's a pretty good name, Sword Maniac.
Oh, Szechuan Steve has managed to take down Chainsaw.
Oh, good! That moves Szechuan Steve into second place.
Yep. And Cards of the Heart is having serious difficulty just on this stage alone.
Oh no!
Not even getting to the boss, just going through the stage. So those are mines on the ground, which explode and annoy you.
For reference, by the way,
Tremendous amounts of damage.
the games that these players had before, Szechuan Steve got lovely Wally Bear and the No Gang, and managed to do pretty well in that, I believe. This is a very different feel for a game, though. Honestly, I don't think this feels like very many... what am I thinking? It doesn't feel like very many of the games out there that we've had so far. It's got its own unique feel.
Yeah, this is quite different to Wally Bear and the No Gang.
Yeah, Steve took third place in that. Zelnus went up in Sylvester and Tweety, which was its own game as well.
Yeah, that's also a very unique title.
Yeah, Cards, on the other hand, did Captain Planet, which, I don't know if Captain Planet felt very much like this. Oh no, that was, Cards did Superboy 4, and Fizz played Captain Planet. All of them took third place, so they're duking it out right now to hopefully get some more points. If they don't manage to take the victory here, it'll be a little bit harder for them to move out of the group stage to the bracket. Honestly, the person who takes fourth is probably not going to make it. That's what I would think.
Yeah, it would take some serious work for them to get the points required at that point. But they've still got more matches. It's all in fun.
Oh yeah. Well, I do this just because I like laughing.
No, pretty much the same.
Oh yeah. Okay, Zelnus, on to Tattoo again. Let's see if Zelnus can figure this out. I would like to hear more of Psychosonic's tunes, you know? I mean, this is a pretty good gem, too, but... what a game.
I think you probably understand what I mean when I said that a lot of the music in this kind of reminds me of Streets of Rage.
Oh, I thought it was going to remind you of Mortal Kombat, but
no.
Yeah, definitely Streets of Rage.
I'm not getting back into that again for at least 10 more minutes.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Faizu. See, comedy has rules, okay? The rules is groups of 3, so I thought you were breaking that, but you didn't.
No. But in 10 minutes, we may get back to the point where it'll start being funny again because it's just so overused and ridiculous.
I mean, maybe. I like this mini-boss, though, on Cards of the Heart screen. Like, he's kind of cute. He's deadly, he's got blades, but he's got good poses.
Got no pants.
Yeah, no pants is a plus, I guess. I don't know, Chainsaw didn't have pants either. We didn't even talk about that.
Oh, Chainsaw started with pants, but then you blew them up.
Well, I mean, that's your fault. Tattoo never loses its pants, though that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, that would be bad. I don't want to see Tattoo without pants.
Yeah, Szechuan Steve and Cards of the Heart are essentially in the same place, both of them having a hard time getting past this mini-boss. Honestly, if Szechuan Steve can do well and figure out a good way to deal damage here, he may be able to move up into first.
Szechuan Steve is having a better shot at going through the level itself. Seems to be taking less damage than Cards is for the most part. Well, I think the mines and the gun turrets are causing Cards some problems.
Yeah, Steve did take a death right there. I'm trying to think. I'm glad that there's random chicken that falls on the ground. The Fizz is through the boss as well. We have 3 players essentially on the same stage. And then Zelnus tried to take down Tattoo. Oh my gosh, how is Tattoo this rude?
I predicted that at least one person would wind up spending at least half an hour on Tattoo.
Yeah, I'm really not that surprised.
I am really surprised at how quickly other people got through Tattoo.
Yeah, that was surprising. Okay, Cards is doing relatively well against this mini-boss. I think Cards might be able to get through this time. Maybe, he's almost dead. Cards.
Cards, we believe in you.
Cards.
I can't actually remember what my strategy for this mini-boss was. I remember crouching to block those hits, though. Maybe Cards doesn't know that you can actually block and crouch at the same time?
I don't know if anybody knows you can do that. That would be...
Because that's how you block the needles that come in from the ground.
See, Cards, one more hit and the mini-boss would have been dead. I guess Steve knows how to duck and block. So that's a huge benefit for Steve.
That is a massive benefit because that, depending on how much further they get, that becomes essential against some enemies in boss.
Now, you definitely have a block button on the controller. It's not like holding backwards is your block. It's, I believe it's X is your block. Yep. Since it's a Super Nintendo game.
It is the top face button on the controller, if memory serves.
I think Cards is experimenting with it a little bit at this point.
It's a good way of dealing with quite a lot of stuff in the game. But yeah, Szechuan Steve has definitely figured that out. Szechuan Steve, it looks like, has also figured out that you can actually destroy the projectiles in midair by slashing them.
Oh yeah. I think Steve's gonna get it. Steve's gonna move into first.
Yeah, but Steve is taking so much damage from kind of unsafe play in a few aspects. Doing better at the moment.
Okay. Just don't rush, Steve. Just take it slow. And there we go. Steve officially into first. Cards of the Heart second, the Fizz in third. Zelnus taking on Tattoo.
And now Steve is onto an elevator level. With yet another mini-boss. A really fun mini-boss.
Yeah, here's what I'm thinking with Xelnas. The most important thing when it comes to a lot of Kusogr4nde matches is to experiment and try different things if you get stuck. And so that's really what Xelnas needs to do. Just do something different from what he's done before. Okay, Steve, is this a boss?
This is a mini-boss.
Okay, that wasn't very...
You basically just need to hit the mini-boss the instant they land, otherwise there is whip and fire pillars coming from the ground, and yeah.
I love it.
And now we get to what is probably one of the, well, the single worst actual stage so far.
Oh no. Platforming? Yes. You have to actually do platforming in this?
Oh yeah, lots of platforming, lots of flying bomber dudes who will knock you off the platforms down to the very bottom of the stage again.
Yeah, I'd say the knockback is one of the worst things in this so far, because you definitely have a lot of knockback.
Yep. This level is rude.
And there we go, Xelnas using another continue. You know what? We have had other players get stuck on certain levels before. I'm not too surprised this is happening to someone on Tattoo, because Tattoo's rough.
I'm not surprised in the slightest. The bosses in this game are just sadistic.
It just feels so bad when somebody gets stuck, though, because you know that they're frustrated, you know that they're angry, but eventually they may be able to figure it out. If Xelnas manages to beat this boss, even if he's not able to catch up, that still is a huge mark of progress, you know, and it would definitely be...
That's the other thing, is beating that boss gives a... Beating a bit that you're stuck on just kind of gives you a mental boost, like, yes, I'm done that. And then with the rest of the next stage being fairly easy comparatively, you feel like you're making progress, you're doing better, and you start to feel better about how you're going. Your mental state improves.
Oh, yeah. But you just got to figure out how to actually hurt Tattoo reliably. That's the thing. Xelnas was dealing a good amount of damage until Tattoo got in the corner. And I think if Xelnas can realize that, he may be able to start making some progress here.
Yeah, Tattoo is...
there we go.
Tattoo is one of those bosses you kind of just need to figure out.
Cards is through the mini-boss, FYI.
Cards is on to the next mini-boss, which may take a life or may not, depending on how quickly Cards has figured out that you just need to hit them the instant.
I love that it doesn't even take that much time at all. Like, as soon as you hit them once, you're like, okay, I see how this works.
On the other hand, Cards might want to go and pick up the power-ups or the health-ups that are up there, just to be safe. Yeah. The instant I say that, that's exactly what Cards does.
Grab the burger! Yeah.
The burger refills about 25% of your life, and I think a Coke can is only about 5% or something like that.
Yeah, Coke is weak. Okay.
Yeah. It's Coke Zero, so it doesn't even give you any sugary goodness to keep you going.
Yeah.
And there we go. Szechuan Steve manages to get knocked off a platform onto one of the moving platforms and then knocked off that and killed.
Oh, video games, you were a mistake.
Well, if people saw this stream for the first time and that was their first experience of video games, then yeah, I think that would be a fair assumption.
Xelnas is starting to get some hits on the boss, but still less than 50% damage before taking a death in just a second here. Yeah. Okay, a little bit over.
Is figuring it out.
A little bit. Let's just say tattoo was a mistake. Can we at least concede with that?
I'd say so. And I didn't really have anything in terms of the timing of getting it in between the swings. I think it's theoretically possible to time it so that you can do a heavy strike. But I just found it safest to wait for him to stop doing anything and then just run right up into his face, slash, and then block.
Yep. Oh.
Jumping did me no favors in that fight, unfortunately.
You could do it, Zelnus. I've got faith.
I'm curious to see whether anybody's going to make it to the third boss. We've got enough time. I expect someone will.
Okay.
But let's be fair. This construction site level is rough.
It's a little rude. Teeny tiny bit. You know, the irony of Zelnus' strat is that you can beat Tattoo without jumping at all.
Yeah. Tattoo has really good anti-air game, as someone pointed out in chat earlier. He punishes your air moves.
Oh my gosh. Come on, Zelnus! I just want you to make progress!
Oh, Zelnus is going to be one of those people who's going to be super grumpy at me after this, aren't they?
Yeah, but I don't know. If Zelnus doesn't rage quit, then you've done fine, Faizu.
I don't think I've made anyone rage quit before. I have made people finish the game and then need to, or finish the hour and then need to.
Oh no, Steve!
Walk away from the computer for 15 minutes to calm down before saying anything to me again.
Yeah. I've made a few people rage quit. I'm sorry, everybody. That's not my intention. I want you to play bad games and love them. I want people to suffer in a fun way. Fun suffering. That's what Kusogr4nde is all about. Everybody will enjoy
that's
pain.
Why I think Rockman X is the only game I've been given that I have truly outright hated. That is the only thing that's made me angry. That was not fun suffering. That was just dumb.
The Fizz has figured out the boss, by the way. I don't know. Personally, I like Rockman X.
I hate it so much.
Oh yeah, I know that. You've complained a lot.
I kind of feel like I should... I know. I kind of feel like I should go back and play that again just to confront my nemesis, but...
Like, if you have specific strategies, I think it could be bearable for you.
Maybe.
Honestly, it's pretty fun once you figure out what you're doing. Until then, it's kind of tough.
I am one of those people, I haven't really played Mega Man games.
I don't think Mega Man would help you with Rockman X.
I mean, it's theoretically a Mega Man bootleg.
I would say it's more of a Batman game. Because you...
Really?
Yeah, you have a Batarang. And...
Oh, I mean, I'm sure that it's entirely speedrunnable and beatable, and I know that Jaeger speedruns it, but it's one of those things where playing it blind, it was just awful.
Yeah. Okay, both Cards of the Heart and Szechuan Steve are on the platforming section of this game.
I think Szechuan Steve is slightly further ahead, but I may be wrong on that, because let's face it, this stage looks exactly the same. But no, Mega Man is one of the only kind of major series that I have never actually touched.
You should play some. Mega Man's good.
I've played a couple of the games a little bit, but not a great deal. Oh, and Szechuan Steve just fell back down about 6 floors.
Do you have fall
Szechuan
damage?
Steve is... No, but the amount of...
No, Steve.
The amount of backtracking you have to do, even if you fall a little way.
Yeah.
Oh, and at this point, it's actually returning you to the... It's not respawning with the continue at the start of the girders. It's respawning back at the very first.
Oh my
section
gosh!
of the stage.
Cards! Don't fall, cards! Yeah, I played a lot of Mega Man when I was a kid, honestly. I think one of the first games I beat was Mega Man 2.
I might look into Mega Man X then.
Mega Man X games
Rockman
are...
X.
Rockman X. Mega Man X games are just fantastic. You should.
I think I actually have one of the Mega Man collections on...
Fizz, no! You were so close!
I'm just going to check my Steam account, actually, because I'm sure I own a Mega Man collection somewhere. Yeah, I own Mega Man Legacy Collection 2. Whatever that's Mega Man 7, 8, 9, and 10, apparently.
Ah.
I don't know if that means much. I don't know if they're good ones or bad ones or what.
Yeah, don't start with those. Start with the Mega Man X collection, not the Mega Man Collection 2.
Mega Man X... X was the one on the SNES, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
I liked 9 and 10, but I don't know. Okay.
Okay, it looks like Cards and Steve are both back to the start of that particular stage. Did you see how many continues Cards has left?
I have no idea.
Because I think Steve has 1 continue left at this point, so he's probably unlikely to run out before time ends.
Okay. Wait, in Mega Man 8, do you literally swim? Oh, no. That's not what robots are supposed to do.
Well, what about swimming robots? Like diving drones and things?
Well, yeah, if they're built specifically for swimming, then I'll allow it, but Mega Man is not, okay? He's a hunk of metal. It's supposed to sink down to the bottom. That's it. Bubble Man swims, well, he was built for it.
I'm fairly certain that Steve is ahead. I'm not 100% certain, though. I will leave that. As ever, I leave the refereeing decisions up to our cat.
Yeah, I believe that Steve is currently in the lead. Cards in second, Fizz in third, and Zelmus in fourth.
I have to say, having someone called the Fizz in this is mildly confusing to me while I'm in voice chat, because the internet appears to be torn on whether my name is pronounced Fizu or Fizzu, so there are a number of places that call me Fizz, and so hearing that I'm like, wait, I'm doing what now?
It's a Y. Pronouncing it as an I just doesn't make sense. Why would you say Fizz?
Fuzzy is also acceptable. My name is pronounced in so many different ways, it's just that those are 2 of the most common.
Oh my gosh, Cards of the Heart back through the mini-boss and onto the elevator. Not a very difficult elevator, just gotta stab and wait.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult the very first time you walk in there. Just in terms of you may not figure out that you need to just stand still and hit things.
Yeah.
If you actually try and dodge the attacks, no, you're doomed.
Zelmus! Zelmus! No, walking into his slashes is not gonna gonna do it. Thank you, Final Sentinel, for that clarification there.
Tatsu is far from the hardest boss. The later bosses are so much worse. There is one who I don't think we're going to see because I think it's the 4th boss rather than the 3rd, who has 2 forms. He first starts off with a gun, and then when you reduce his health pool to 0, he gets all of his health back, and you can only hit him while he's crouching at that point. Oh, sorry,
Right.
You can only hit him while you are crouching because his hitbox is so low. And he will jump in the air and
No!
spin at you as well.
Szechuan Steve is back down. Those jumps are rude, man.
Yes, Dr. Blast.
Dr. Blast, who...
Mike has the right one in mind. And then, yes, there is Spuke, who is just kind of a jester who jumps around and is really awful.
What
the later
wonderful
bosses are
names
just
here.
a... If memory serves, Raptor, when you finally fight him as well, kind of mixes up high and low attacks so that you can't actually just stand still blocking to stay alive for once. But yeah, we've only seen the easy bosses so far.
Yeah, the thing is, even though we say they're the easy bosses, if you just cannot figure out a solid strat, you can't just mash through these bosses. No.
Oh, for sure. They are easy bosses compared to the bosses that are yet to come.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They are not easy. They're just easy in comparison.
Yeah, just easier.
Mathman, my strategy for Tattoo is to block all of his attacks, and then when he stops attacking, walk up to him until you are at
Zelnus!
point-blank
Oh my
range.
gosh, is Zelnus gonna do it? This strategy might work. Zelnus!
I don't know. Zelnus
Yes!
is pretty
Yes!
too likely for me to
Zelnus is
watch.
through!
Yes!
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Oh! Okay.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
Let me see if he's said anything in this chat.
No, nobody has said anything in chat so far. But I'm
probably for the
so
best.
happy for Zelnus.
Oh no, I got word of what the next game is.
Royal Blue
Well.
Wizard, yes, you do fight Kane.
Wait, you fight Kane in this?
I think Kane is the boss of this stage, actually. The boss of the stage
Oh
that
yeah,
casts
yeah,
the
yeah.
hearts.
Szechuan Steve is currently
There
on
we go.
Kane.
Szechuan Steve is up to Kane now.
Steve is definitely in the lead then.
Any last requests?
Die. Welcome to
Shake me
Die.
and you might find out.
Oh, he's so fat.
I can't remember if Kane is particularly annoying as a boss. Kane isn't one of the ones that sticks in my mind as being horrific. Fizz has stopped being out of continues with 5 minutes left, and that seems entirely fair.
That is fine. Now the Fizz, I don't think Zelnus can pass the Fizz at this point, but I still want to see the progress that Zelnus can make. Cards of the Heart could technically pass Szechuan Steve.
Yep, it's possible.
Okay, I kind of like this boss, Kane. He just kind of waddles.
Yeah, he's kind of got E Honda or Chun-Li's attack.
Oh, yeah.
And he also throws his bowler hat at you.
Actually, it's not much of
So
a
he's-
waddle. He just
He's got an odd
shuffles.
job. He's got an odd job thing going on as well.
Oh, yeah.
I like that he's just kind of fencing you with a cane.
I mean, it works.
And yet you supposedly have the best sword ever, and he's just got a cane, and he can smack you around.
Well, that's because you forgot to actually train on anything before fighting this dude. You're just like, I have a sword. My name is My name's King Arthur. A good sword. A stab.
I mean, I like to think that Slash is just he just got the X-Kaliber. And he doesn't actually know how to use it. That's why it takes him so long. He like does a vertical slash, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm tired now. I need to take a break for 2 seconds to
so
get my
heavy.
health."
So heavy. Oh my gosh, his name is Slash.
The protagonist's name is Slash.
Is everybody just named after their weapons?
Well, the villain's name is Raptor.
Is he a raptor?
No. He also has a sword, but his sword isn't as good as Slash's sword, even though he is arguably much better in terms of what attacks he has.
That's so dumb. Yeah, Dr. Blast, there's tattoo, and the tattoo's a weapon.
Yeah.
Kane has a cane.
Has a chainsaw.
Chainsaw has a chainsaw. Dr. Blast has explosives, probably.
Spuke does not puke on you, though.
Yeah, why does Spuke break the rules here?
Neither does the final boss. Doesn't count either.
Yeah, if Raptor has a bird.
Raptor is basically just like Slash. It's kind of a dual boss. It's another dude with a sword.
Oh my goodness.
I can't even remember what the last boss is called, but the game makes an abrupt tonal shift at the point where you beat Raptor. Well, I'll just say that for the moment. And then I will link a screenshot in chat. Actually, I may do that now.
Okay, go for it.
Because we're not going to see anybody actually beat Raptor, so...
Yeah, there's no way. No way at all.
So hey chat, this is part of the cutscene you get when you beat. And at that point, it kind of turns into kind of alien horror worlds.
We're being invaded by gangsters from another dimension. Hate those.
Yeah. The game gets weird towards the end. And the last boss is one of the ones. It's like a background boss with 2 floating hands off to the sides, and the actual boss is in the background, and you have to attack its head.
Oh no. Okay, Zelnus is game over. We have 20 seconds left. I do not think any of the places are changing at this point. Szechuan Steve took the victory. Cards, second place. The Fizz, third. And Zelnus came in fourth. Here we go. Last 5 seconds, and let's see if Steve can even hit this boss.
Steve has hit the boss before.
Yeah.
He has managed to inflict some damage, but...
a little bit of damage.
I'm slightly regretting giving them any continues. I feel like this would have been funnier if I'd given them none.
Oh, it's fine. And in fact, I would say that it's even time because we hit the hour. I already read out the list. Szechuan Steve, congratulations on the victory. Cards in second, the Fizz in third, Zelnus in fourth. What a game. They're probably happy that it's over.
Yeah. I feel slightly bad about this, maybe.
Slightly. Let's see what Steve thinks. Like, seriously, Steve took the victory here, managing to get to Kane. Dealing a good amount of damage there, but not really being able to get very far past that. Let me see if he wants to join. So, thank you everybody for stopping on by. That was a pretty intense match. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating. I was so stressed, Faizu.
Yeah, that was quite a thing to watch.
It was fine. It was fine. It was fine, Faizu. Okay, completely fine. Well... Okay, I think Steve is just trying to figure out how to get in here. We're letting him know and dragging him in. Hello, Steve!
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, going well. Congratulations on the victory here.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
That was a game.
Yeah, what are your thoughts about the game?
Honestly, the levels were pretty fun. Actually, I had no except for stage 3, the on the girders there. That was the spawns falling down, losing a lot of progress. That was a lot of fun. But the boss fights really were the worst part of the game for me.
Yeah, for what it's worth, both the stages and the boss fights get much worse as you go on.
I'm sure.
Yeah, just
the girders are probably one of the worst stages in the game, but there are some other later ones that are really nasty.
I mean, of course there would be. So yeah, I know that the controls are a little bit weird, especially since some of your attacks have so much of a cooldown after you do them that you can't do anything.
Yeah, that was definitely a big issue with it. I was trying to stick to the like the fast attacks, standard attacks. Only using the heavy attacks when I figured out that if you do up and A, it does like that overhead slash, which is actually has a really big hitbox. That was pretty helpful in that last level, but other than that, I wasn't really using the heavy attacks that much. Yeah. Same with the ranged attacks.
Yeah, when I played some of this, that's sort of the same approach that I did. Use the fast attacks as much as possible. So you figured out, honestly, you figured out Tattoo pretty quickly. There's only one person who finished that before you, Cards of the Heart, and you managed to get caught up pretty quickly there.
All right, yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly what I did, but it seemed like when you got like really, really close, that was like the opportune time to hit. Like it like always landed. Yeah, this is very strange. The distance in the boss fights is very strange.
Yeah. With Tattoo, the working strategy that I found was just to wait for him to stop attacking and then walk right up to him at point blank range and hit him.
Yep.
And then walk away.
Then repeat.
Yeah. Which, you know, I saw everybody using all of these jump strats and trying to just land any hits possible like that, and I'm like, the way that I did it, I didn't have to jump at all. Like, it's so counterintuitive.
It really is, yeah.
You almost have to, you pretty much have to cheese the bosses regardless because of the AI being so block happy and you taking so much more damage than them.
Yeah, on Chainsaw, I just like hugged the left wall eventually, and that ended up being the strat for that boss.
Yeah, what did you think of Chainsaw, by the way?
I thought it was actually a really cool boss until he's got the chainsaw. And then it's like really tough. And until you just figure out that strat just like stay to the left and let him come to you and just keep hitting him.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they just keep knocking you back and you'll never be able to get into ranged attack.
Yeah, you know, it is a fascinating boss. I like that it has different stages and that the attacks constantly change. It definitely makes it harder that you have the changing boss throughout that. But I don't know, he's pretty enjoyable. I also like the bright flashing screen.
Oh, the visuals are great.
Yeah, the Psycho Sonic words. Oh, by the way, yeah, Psycho Sonic did the music for this game, and did you know that Psycho Sonic did the music for Mortal Kombat?
They did the music for Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh, that one. Yeah, the movie. I'm just being told by chat to shut up. Okay, never mind. We'll leave it. Anything?
We may have gone over this about 17 times during the match, so chat are kind of sick of it.
Just so you know. Yeah, anything else you want to say before we move on?
No, I guess just thanks for this game. I mean, it was fun. It was bad, but it was fun. It was enjoyable.
That's what I like to hear. Usually, you know, you have some sort of love-hate relationship by the end.
Yeah, I'm just going to move on to abject horror from now on. So thank you for participating in what was possibly one of my last nice games.
All right.
All right. See you later, Szechuan Steve.
See you later.
Thank
Good luck,
you,
everybody
Pfizer.
else.
Yeah.
GG's to all.
GG.
Only the best cheese. All right, well, Faizu, we're going to be moving on. I just want to give a shout out to James Mayo for resubscribing, for the various followers, Fizz for doing the host after the game, Fluffy Squirrel for subscribing, Nobody Important as well, Jumi Wander, Arpiga, who I think I shouted you out a little bit before. I know the number of subs has dropped quite a bit. Like a month ago, we had that big wave of beginning Kusogr4nde gift subs, which was pretty cool. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Faizu, you know who the next... What?
I don't know. You just suddenly said Faizu.
Faizu.
So, Brosensha.
We've got a good game master coming up. I know that it's someone we know and love who has been around and helped quite a bit with the tournament. Good old Corndan is here for the next game.
Oh, no. Well, this is going to be something special then, isn't it?